Welcome to the 45th annual LA Watts Summer Games, sponsored by the Los Angeles Chamber Foundation. We're at the Roybal Learning Center in downtown Los Angeles as the Lynwood Knights take on the Long Beach Poly Jackrabbits on Time Warner Cable. And hello everybody, welcome courtside. Rob Render alongside Paul Westfall as we get ready for what should be an outstanding contest between Lynwood and Long Beach Poly. And Paul, when there's this much tradition between these two squads, both of them state champions, there's going to be a lot of talented players on the floor and a lot to look forward to.
Well, we have two powerhouse programs used to a high level of success, not just at the sectional level, but the state and the national levels also. They're led by two Hall of Fame coaches in Carl Buggs from Long Beach Poly, Ellis Barfield from Lynwood. And the teams are mirror images of each other. They feature pressure defense designed to create transition opportunities. And in the half-court game, they preach sharing the basketball, Rob, with balanced scoring.
When it comes to scoring, Lynwood really relies on their point guard, Jasmine Johnson.
Well, the All-CIF performer is a terrific on-the-ball defender. She led them in steals last year, and she gets her hands on a lot of passes designed to get them into their transition offense. And in the open court, she's lightning quick and difficult to catch up to.
As far as Long Beach Poly goes, Jada Matthews, one of their forwards, is really their star on the floor today.
Well, offensively, she's a solid scorer and rebounder, but I think her real value is defensively. When you play that pressure defense on the perimeter, it's nice to have a free safety back there who can block shots and erase mistakes, and that's probably Jada's best attribute.
It's a ball game that we are really looking forward to this afternoon. The Gold Division Championship game from the Watts Summer Games here in downtown Los Angeles. Stick with us right here on Time Warner Cable Sports. Welcome back inside the Roybal Learning Center. Rob Render alongside Paul Westfall as we get ready for the Watts Summer Games Championships in the Gold Division between Long Beach Poly and Lynwood. We mentioned a few moments ago these are outstanding teams, both of them state champions this year. Lynwood with a record of 29-5 this past season, and Long Beach Poly, guess what? Same exact record, also 29-5. Let's take a look at the starting lineups for Lynwood. Player to watch is Johnson, number 14, playing the point guard spot, and she is one heck of a player. 5'7", 3 years on the varsity, brings a lot of energy, all-league player. For Long Beach Poly, a bit of a different lineup than you would normally see. Many of their players are not here this afternoon because of other events that take place during the summer. So the player that we highlighted and one we think you have to watch out for the most is Jada Matthews, the senior at 6 foot. She can block shots, she can rebound, and she can also score the basketball. As we get ready to take a look at our two coaches. And Paul, I know we highlighted the coaches coming in. There's a good chance that these coaches are some of the best, not only in the state, but really in the country as far as developing talent.
Yeah, no question about it. We got a quick look at Carl Buggs, who's going into his 15th year as the helm of Long Beach Poly. And, of course, his counterpart on the Lynwood side, Ellis Barfield, who has been coaching at Lynwood since 1993. And just an incredible level of success. There's a good look at Ellis, one of the nicest men I've had the pleasure to make his acquaintance over the years, and he turns out good teams, as does Carl Buggs, year after year after year. And there's Carl Buggs again. He's been coaching, as I mentioned, this will be his 15th year, and both these teams are recognized not just in the area, not just in the state of California, but nationally. Everybody knows about Long Beach Poly and Lynwood girls basketball.
And what's interesting about both these coaches is that they not only have ties to Long Beach, as in the city of, but they also have ties directly to Long Beach State. Carl Buggs, the Long Beach Poly head coach, played baseball at Long Beach State in the late 1970s, and his counterpart, Ellis Barfield, now in his 20th year at the helm in Lynwood, had both of his sisters attend Long Beach State in the mid to late 1990s, and both of them played basketball there, Kim and Monique. So a lot of ties to the city of Long Beach, and now participating in the Watts Summer Games, which is a wonderful event. It was an event that was originally scheduled to take place, at least the championship rounds, at Cal State Dominguez Hills. They had a scheduling conflict of sorts, and so had to relocate to right here at the Roybal Learning Center in downtown, a facility that opened in 2008. And it is a wonderful venue for summer basketball, decent-sized crowd, as working its way in. We'll get some more folks, I'm sure, in the house for the boys game, which takes place a little bit later on tonight. This facility was actually built to relieve some pressure because Belmont High School right down the road had a major population issue, so they built this fine venue, and it's as I said, a perfect spot to have some summer league basketball. And Paul, again, we expect a good one. Lynwood and Long Beach Poly, both off state championships. Do you feel like there's going to be any major changes for these teams in the way they conduct business on the floor based on a lot of the players not being here today?
No, they are system teams, and they've played the same way as long as I've been following prep basketball here in the Southland, and they will get after you defensively. What they like to do is turn you over, get into the open court, and create opportunities. And then both teams famous for sharing the basketball. Seldom will you see anybody from either team who averages 20 points a game. You might have 5 players that average between 9 and 12 points a game. That's been a keynote of both of these teams' successes over the years. They used to play each other. They used to be in the same division. When they were in Division I together, they played in the CIF championship games back in the mid-2000s often, and it was some great contests, and each team would have their share of success.
As you see the starting lineups being introduced here at the Roybal Learning Center, Lynwood with a 10-0 record as champions of the San Gabriel Valley League this year, and Long Beach Poly 12-0 in the Moore League. These are very good teams, and we are going to have an outstanding ball game this afternoon. It's the 45th annual LA Watts Summer Games from the Roybal Learning Center in downtown Los Angeles. If you haven't been to this facility, we're pretty much where the 101 connects to the 110. Rob Renner alongside Paul Westfall as they continue to announce the starting lineups for this afternoon's contest. As you take a look at Lynwood wearing their white with the purple and gold. On the other side, Long Beach Poly wearing the green jerseys. These are the practice jerseys for each of these two teams, and the players have been swapping numbers as the morning goes on, trying to figure out which players are actually going to be here, number one, because of vacations and holiday and whatever else happens. And also, a lot of the primetime performers are participating in events around the country to try to enhance their stock for college.
Exactly right, and a couple for Long Beach Poly that we will miss today is their outstanding sophomore point guard, Brianna Johnson, and their senior scorer Erica Carter. Both will miss the game for the Jackrabbits, and they're both outstanding players who will go on to play at high Division I level colleges when it's the time to do so.
That was a bit of a shame for us because I know both of us were looking forward to seeing Miss Carter take the floor, and we've heard so much about her. A very talented young lady, and from what I understand, she is in Michigan today at a summer camp there. And you mentioned Johnson also in Michigan today. As it looks like we are set for basketball. Championship game from the LA Watts Summer Games. They jump it up in the circle, and it's tipped back. First offensive possession goes to Lynwood. Lots and lots of pressure, it looks like, defensively early on, Paul.
Yes, indeed, and you'll see that from both teams. But one thing is they practice against it every day in their own inter-squad scrimmages, so they're used to it.
This is Jasmine Johnson. We talked an awful lot about her. Very talented player, can shoot it from the outside. You see her on the dribble drive, and the nice spin move. Airballs the shot, but an excellent putback by Crystal Lomax, the senior, who put up a pair of points in the state championship game against St. Francis. That game won by Lynwood, their 4th state title under the guidance of Mr. Barfield. As a jumper around the rim and out, they wrestle for the rebound. Priscilla Lopez had her hands on it for Lynwood, and we're going to have a jump ball, and it will remain Long Beach possession.
There you see strong battle for the rebound, and held ball keeps it in Jackrabbits territory.
Off the inbound, a missed three. And finally, the ball rebounded by Lynwood. This is a much shorter Lynwood team, man-to-man, at least in the starting 5 for each squad, as Priscilla Lopez moves right. Jump shot from the far corner bounces out of the right hand of Shatira Powell, and taken back by Long Beach Poly. Jada Matthews, their best player, makes a bad pass, deflected, and turned right back over by Lynwood. So a little bit sloppy, and maybe that lends itself to the cohesiveness without the star players on the floor.
Well, it's true, and it is the summertime, so they're not obviously at tournament level yet. But plus, you've got pretty tenacious on-the-ball defense from both squads, so there probably won't be a lot of easy entry passes.
Here is Jada Matthews as that one rims out, and a foul on the rebound. It will go against Lynwood. Couldn't see exactly who they had. And it will be on Christiana Lane, the senior. And a correction, looks like they got it on Long Beach Poly. I take that back, but I don't see a number 5 on the roster for Poly. Well, a little bit of confusion early on with the numbers, and part of that is due to the fact that the Long Beach Poly jerseys, as you can probably see on your screens at home right now, you can barely make out the numbers at all. So if you don't know the players by face, good luck. Here's Johnson with a nice crossover. Just inside the circle for 2. Rims out. She's now 0 for 2 from the field. And there's Matthews acting like the center and point guard all in the same possession. Deep 3 at the top for Matthews is no good. Correction, that was Jean Mard on that miss. And if I'm not mistaken, Jean Mard, who is wearing number 2 on our roster, is actually wearing number 22 on her jersey. So we have 2 22s on the floor, but that was Jean Mard on that last jump shot. Here's Priscilla Lopez with her first jumper, and it goes down.
Priscilla's an outstanding scorer. She's a 3-point bomber from the outside, but she can also score off the bounce.
One dribble in and a jump shot from Carmen is short. There's Matthews trying to put it back up and in. Beautiful play.
And here comes that patented jackrabbit press.
And broken nicely by Johnson, who just throws the ball up as she was falling to the ground. It didn't go, but she gets herself to the free throw line to shoot 2. As you see the acceleration from Jasmine Johnson.
Well, and the value of playing against like pressure all the time in practice. Lynwood is used to it, just like Long Beach Poly is used to it. But it also helps to have a lightning quick guard like Jasmine Johnson, because if you do break that initial pressure in the backcourt, you're going to have man advantages throughout the game, 3-on-2, 2-on-1, that sort of thing.
And there's a reason why she was all league and all CIF this year. She's capable of breaking a press almost by her lonesome on any given possession. And has one more free throw to come, the southpaw. We're playing 4 8-minute quarters today. They've had a running clock in the first few rounds of this tournament, but that is not the case today. Good job by Poly to break the mild pressure that time from Lynwood, and it leads to a layup for Erica Carmen, the senior 5'10". Came off the bench most of the year as a layup for Shatira Powell goes down for Lynwood. Back and forth they go. It's 8-4.
Nice finish in traffic by Powell with the right hand. We expected up-tempo game, and there we go.
Yeah, beautiful shot from the left elbow. That's Justice Dawson. And she'll have a chance at a 3-point play on the nice drive getting around her defender, the left-handed shot.
And she saw one of the bigs, Lane, coming out at her around the elbow, so a quick jump stop and a nice mid-range jumper and the foul for Dawson. Her real strength, she can really shoot from distance. She was over a 40% shooter last year from beyond the arc.
Yeah, made 33s. As we'll get a substitution here for Lynwood. Destiny Crayon is in. 5'11" forward. She is just a sophomore. Looks like Long Beach going to keep up that pressure. And broken rather easily by Johnson. And she is awfully quick. Left elbow jump shot is off the front side of the iron from Shatira Powell, who had just made the previous layup. And back comes Jada Matthews, who turns it over. Taken away by Priscilla Lopez. 2-on-3, finds Johnson, who gets fouled on the way up.
A terrific effort by Lopez. First, beating the defense down the floor, changing hands. Watch, she knows people are coming from behind, so she changes hands a couple of times and draws 3 defenders, then looks across the lane and finds Johnson on the cut, and a 2-shot opportunity for Lynwood.
It's at the point where those two are going into the latter stages of their high school careers, and they've worked together so much that there's that constant cohesiveness on the floor.
I imagine they have a pretty good idea where the other one's going to be most of the time, and you can see how adept both teams are at handling the basketball. There's been backcourt pressure almost every possession, yet neither team has turned it over in the backcourt, resulting in an easy one for the opposition, and you're seeing some very good ball handling.
Dominique Westbrook and Mystasia Alexander both check into the Lynwood lineup during the last dead ball. It's a jump shot from Carmen about 18 feet away, which goes down. Nice looking jumper from, as I mentioned, a player who came off the bench the majority of the season.
Well, and Carl Buggs and Ellis Barfield both play very deep on their rosters.
And getting hit going to the basket was Johnson. She gets herself back to the free throw line to shoot a pair.
The concept of fresh legs applies to both of these coaches' philosophies. They like to go much deeper than many quality teams. They'll go 10, 11, maybe 12 deep at times in order to keep that pressure defense going all 32 minutes.
A chance for Lynwood to regain the lead, something that they had the majority of the quarter. Johnson misses on the first. A lot of the players that you'll see throughout the ball game today not only are young, but they're players in some cases who are participating in their first game action at all with either of these two teams, just based on the fact that the other players are not here. Nice offensive rebound, and that'll lead to another free throw shooting opportunity. Mystasia Alexander will get to the line after Westbrook grabbed that offensive board.
Hard work inside. A nice dish to the cutter, and another free throw opportunity for Lynwood. Both these teams showing great hustle in the early going. For a summer league game, you think there might be a case of maybe not bringing 100% effort. Well, not if you're going to play for either Coach Buggs or Coach Barfield. Every practice, every game is treated as if it is the most important moment that you have at this time, and that's what results in such a high level of success. The players change. They move on to Division I colleges, yet the level of success for these two programs has been good for 15 to 20 years.
The second free throw goes down after the first one was missed, and Lynwood does grab a 1-point lead. They try the full court pressure, but the pass over the top ends that as Carmen has it. Left baseline jumper, almost got the roll. Ball gathered in on the rebound by Crystal Lomax, but she had it taken away, and that one's going to go, and a foul. Trying to wait and see a number. It's Layla Brown, the junior guard. Wonderful, wonderful shot by Layla.
You'll see the battle for the rebound. It's tipped out, and Lomax tries to break out and start a man advantage opportunity, but Brown is there with the steal and sticks it in the basket despite the heavy pressure to get an and-one opportunity.
There were a few players on the roster specifically for Long Beach Poly that Carl Buggs didn't know if they were going to show up today or not, and one of them was Layla Brown. Expected her to be here, but had to wait till the last moments as she missed the free throw, but Layla Adams gets the rebound and she gets fouled. And we'll get to the free throw lines. Both teams really attacking on the offensive window.
Yeah, I like the effort, the spirit so far for both squads. Of course, all these young ladies know each other from obviously the proximity of the two schools, plus they play in club ball against each other. And so I think there's more than just your typical summer league emotion going on here when Lynwood and Long Beach Poly get on the same court.
Oh yeah, these two teams played each other in the championship game of this tournament a year ago. They are very familiar with each other, as the coaches are. As we'll get a drive end-to-end by Destiny Crayon, who had it smacked away out of bounds from behind. Nice job recovering by Erica Carmen to get back. You saw the ball handling ability there of Destiny Crayon. Able to go the full length of the floor. Shatira Powell back into the lineup along with Priscilla Lopez, who has a rock in her hand. And a timeout will be taken by Lynwood. 13-10. Long Beach playing with the lead, something they had not done for the first portion of our first quarter. If you're just joining us, welcome. Nice to have you alongside. We're at the Roybal Learning Center, just north of downtown Los Angeles. Rob Render, Paul Westphal. These two teams we mentioned, both state champions. They both won their league with undefeated records. And these are tough leagues, especially the Moore League, where Long Beach Poly had to beat out Milliken and Lakewood, some of the other tough schools, in order to go undefeated. And it's something that these two schools seem to do regularly. You really have to be good and constantly bringing in talent.
Well, and it's true for both squads. Long Beach Poly actually has won 50 straight games in the Moore League. They haven't lost a Moore League game since the 07-08 season, and that is a remarkable number in its just by itself. But they each lost critical players from last year's championship teams. For Long Beach Poly, Keela Morgan, who did everything well. She took her talents to Kansas. They'll also miss the post play of Chloe Kellum and the all-around play of Mahogany Brown. And for Lynwood, they lost one of the more spectacular players that I saw all last year in Alize Lofton, who's at Cal Bakersfield. Amber Blockman, who was so solid in the post, going to Cal State Northridge. And then Nigella Johnson, who's going to a small school out in Iowa, Great Lakes. All excellent players, but the beat goes on for both teams.
This is Shatira Powell backing it out and finding Lopez. Tried to step in for the jump shot, had the ball knocked out of her hands, recovered. And then the missed jumper by Powell as the ball deflects out of bounds, and it will be off a Lynwood hand. You mentioned all that talent going to Division I colleges, which is great to see. One of the things, though, that a lot of people have been talking about lately is the fact that these kids are getting recruited at such a young age. Some of them even recruited as 8th graders now to go to school. Well,
and that's part of the travel ball circuit and what results from it. But if it gets some college scholarships, I'm all for it.
Jasmine Johnson with the circus shot that rolls off the back of the iron. Nice job climbing the ladder for the offensive rebound by Lane, and she got knocked to the ground. So again, attacking the offensive glass, trying to get good putback opportunities.
Well, and that's going to be one of the things to watch once the basketball season begins for Lynwood, is how do they replace those two talented post players. And Christiana Lane, number 5, she'll be one of those players counted on for good post play for Lynwood at 6'1", and very fluid movement. She's very skilled. It's her time this year after Lofton and Blockman have moved on.
That foul came on a 3-point shot, so Priscilla Lopez will march to the charity stripe and shoot 3. Priscilla Lopez, average 11.6 points per game this year. A deadly outside shooter. Made 83 threes out of 142 tries, so she likes it beyond the arc, no question about that.
And don't think that the Jackrabbits don't know that, and that's why that 3 was contested, and that's how she got a foul on a 3-point opportunity. But Priscilla can really score the basketball. Not only can she shoot standstill jumpers, but she's very good off the bounce, and I think she's going to have a magnificent senior season when CIF competition rolls around.
Makes all 3 free throws, and we're even again, 13 apiece. Just over 2 minutes to go in our opening quarter. The LA Watts Summer Games Championship, a tournament that started 45 years ago, right after the Watts riots. And that was the reason, to bring all of these different schools, the different teams together, and in turn, bring their local areas together, their cities. And it's really been a wonderful event.
And this is my first visit to the Roybal Learning Center, and this is a wonderful facility. They've got great athletic venues, not just this basketball arena we're in today, but also the other sports as well. This is a crowning achievement to the city of Los Angeles.
Trying to go coast to coast, and missing on the shot was Priscilla Lopez. Good job by Matthews to get in there and grab that rebound and find her point guard, Justice Dawson. A little bit overzealous by Lopez on that last jumper. Here's Matthews for 3. No good. Rolled off the iron. Ball tapped back out to Dawson, and she makes a tough shot left of the key.
She's a scorer, and you've seen the balance from the Jackrabbits offense. Everybody's got the green light, and that kind of balance makes it difficult to guard the entire floor. But what a good finish by Dawson in traffic.
As we near 1 minute to play in the quarter, there's another 3 from Lopez. This time no good. And a foul on the rebound. Matthews up high to grab it.
Good box out. Here we'll get a look at that last Long Beach Poly basket. You can see every rebound is contested, and it's tipped out, and Dawson with the left hand off the glass in traffic.
Long Beach Poly with a 2-point advantage. As another tough shot from Dawson, this time no good. Offensive rebound. And another missed jumper, but yet another opportunity. Here's Matthews wheeling baseline. No good. Layla Adams misses. Matthews again, no. And finally, for Lynwood, Destiny Crayon is there. Here's Johnson, break into the hole, makes a nice head fake, and lays it through off the window.
Oh, speed can really create, and that time it was all Johnson. Backcourt pressure broken, should result in an open shot.
Give 5 on the ledger for Johnson. 5 points here in the first quarter. As ball deflects into the corner, a drive along the baseline and a kick out. A 3 for DJ Jackson, the freshman, is no good. Johnson corrals the rebound, and there was a whistle, and I believe a holding foul.
Exactly right. They held Jasmine in the backcourt, and I believe that's going to result in the 1+1 for Lynwood. But you're beginning to see a little bit of a trend, and I've talked a couple of times about how Lynwood lost 2 tremendous post players in Alize Lofton and Amber Blockman, both over 6 feet tall. And Long Beach Poly having their way on the offensive glass here in the later stages of this first quarter. They were playing volleyball with it there for a while. And it'll be a challenge for Lynwood to box out and defend against the taller Jackrabbits.
3 seconds to go in the period as Matthews breaks the timeline, hoists it at the buzzer, no good. Came up short, and just as we expected, an awfully close ball game. Can't get any closer. 15-all between Lynwood and Long Beach Poly after 1 quarter at the LA Watts Championship game from the Roybal Learning Center in downtown Los Angeles. $15-all between Long Beach Poly and Lynwood. Rob Render alongside Paul Westfall. Get ready for the start of the second quarter from the Roybal Learning Center. And it will be Lynwood basketball. Moving it from right to left on your television, wearing the white. Lopez moves to the left elbow, fades left and misses the banker. Destiny Crayon on the window, back to Lopez, top of the key 3. Does not get the friendly bounce, and a slow start for Priscilla Lopez this afternoon. Struggling a bit with her jump shot.
Got a foul on the rebound going to go against Lynwood. I think they've got Powell for the reach. So here comes that Knight's full court pressure. But you saw some of the skill set of Priscilla Lopez with her ability to create her own shot, and then the catch and shoot 3 as well. And they'll start dropping for Priscilla. She's too good a shooter.
Some players in the game that you may not have seen before. This is Layla Brown, who has been out there, nearly threw the ball into the backcourt. Specifically, the player I was talking about has it now, and Layla Brown, as that jump shot is no good. Excuse me, DJ Jackson, as a jumper here, left baseline, also misses. Brown kicks out to Jackson. A 2-handed 3 is off, and it leads to another offensive rebound for Matthews. Boy, the size right now of Long Beach really taking advantage of it on the window, as they're all over every loose ball. This time, it's lost out of bounds by Brown.
That's the second or third time they have had at least 4 opportunities to stick it in the basket. And when Long Beach Poly starts to make some of those second, third, fourth chance opportunities, it'll be up to Lynwood to try to find an answer. But so far, the Jackrabbits are very cold from the perimeter.
Into the lane, and missing the jumper again is Lopez. They fight for the offensive rebound. Lomax goes up and gets hit. Senior at 5'11", Crystal Lomax to the free throw line for 2.
Felt bad for Crystal last year after having a really nice season where she was a solid inside scorer and rebounder. She had a bit of an ankle problem come playoff time, and she missed a couple of the fun times there where they won CIF championships and went on through the Southern California Regional. But she did, as you mentioned earlier, get a chance to play a little bit against Mountain View St. Francis in their state championship victory. But this year, hopefully she's able to stay healthy all season long, and I think she's going to be a big-time contributor for Coach Barfield.
3.5 points per game this past season as she sinks the free throw, both of them as a matter of fact. And it's a 2-point lead again for Lynwood. There's Matthews in the far corner, makes a bad pass and has it taken away. Nearly traveling with it was Maisheza Alexander as she misses the shot with the left hand. There's Lopez in the lane again. Gets her own rebound, falls to the ground. They fight for it, and we should have a jump ball. Possession arrow